Welcome to WNKX, your home for Hickman County sports. But tonight, it is the home for your district championship matchups. First things first, it will be the girls' district finals. It will be between the East Hickman Lady Eagles, who enter in tonight 17-10, 5-2 in the district, and they are coming in with a 4-game winning streak. They will be battling against a team that has been considered a juggernaut this season in women's basketball. It is the Cheatham County Lady Cubs, who enter in at 24-4, undefeated in the district at 7-0 with an 8-game winning streak. Folks, it will be an exciting night of action, and this first game tonight is sponsored by Papa Cajo's Barbecue and Hope Church. With Papa Cajo's Barbecue, they are open Monday through Saturday, 11 to 8 p.m. with daily specials. So come on by and check them out. And with Hope Church, Sunday morning Bible class begins at 9 a.m., worship at 10 a.m., Wednesday Bible class at 6 p.m., and there you can find a recovery ministry, a grief ministry, and you can even check out their Hope on the Square thrift store. Find both Hope and Papa Cajo's on Facebook. Thank you very much to those two organizations for making tonight's broadcast possible. So folks, we will give you time to settle in here tonight, to find us on YouTube at the WNKX YouTube channel, and you also have a little bit of time to refer your friends to the channel so they won't miss a single moment of district finals action here tonight. Tip-off for our first game will be in about 6.5 minutes. Don't go anywhere.
Pizza Hut, you owe Chicago an apology.
Tavern-style pizza is our thing.
Why couldn't you be happy with deep dish like all the tourists? That's good.
And you just had to make it so crispy and delicious.
It's perfection.
They put the toppings all the way to the edge.
It's cut in the shareable square.
That's delicious.
What's your deal, Pizza Hut?
Your secret's out, Chicago. Try any of our large Chicago tavern-style recipes for just $12 each.
Hey, Pizza Hut, you owe Chicago an apology.
Sorry, Chicago. No one out pizza's the Hut.
Apology accepted.
So the national anthem has concluded, and we are just a few moments away from our district finals matchup for the girls, as the East Hickman Lady Eagles will be facing off against the Cheatham County Lady Cubs. And Cam, how exciting is it? This is what we live for, these nights of championships where legends are made. Of course, this tournament has seen some pretty impressive comebacks. It's seen delays. All of that we've seen in this tournament thus far culminates to this moment here tonight.
Check. All right, I'm on. Yeah, Josh, you're absolutely right. I'm excited to see the game tonight. These two teams have been working toward this moment the entire season, so the whole season comes down to this, and what a matchup we get to watch.
Oh, absolutely, Cam. And, you know, Cheatham County has looked like an absolute juggernaut this season. I mean, they enter in 24-4, undefeated in the district with an 8-game winning streak. And not only that, they have a deeper roster than East Hickman. So the Lady Eagles certainly have their work cut out for them. But Cam, with someone like Ruby Cox leading your team, nothing is impossible.
You're absolutely right. It's an East Hickman basketball team. They're scrappy. And so you cannot count East Hickman out in any game they play because they're going to give every ounce of effort they have. Now, that being said, I think that Cheatham County has the most talented player in the district in Montana Lee, and the team that surrounds her is such a talented team, such a team that has a good cohesion to them. So it's East needs to do a lot of little things right tonight to stay in that ball game.
So the starting lineups have been introduced for both teams. It's pretty par of the course what we've seen from these two thus far. For Cheatham County, Montana Lee, Sydney Mitchell, Emmy Orange, Gracie Bell Weekly, and Georgia Hunter, the 5 for Cheatham. For East, Addie Fisher, Brooklyn Adams, Ruby Cox, Aubrey Fisher, and Kelsey Capps.
Josh, East coming out in man-to-man defense. We've seen this a lot from them. They're a team that brings a lot of energy, but tonight it's going to take a lot of doing things correctly off the ball. Cheatham County is one that moves off the ball really well. So we see Montana Lee try to make an entry pass, and East stops it there.
So some nice interior defense there by the Eagles to deny that opening pass by Lee. Quickly into Weekly from 2, no good, and Cox gets the rebound. East Hickman wearing the black jerseys with the blue lettering. Cheatham enters in the white. So Josh Fisher with the logo.
We see Cheatham coming out in man-to-man defense as well. Again, they match up very well against East.
Ruby Cox,
good-looking 5.
Underneath, goes off the glass and gets a tough 2. So no surprise there. Ruby Cox already making her mark on this ball game. With a layup, and the ball goes off the hands of Gracie Bell Weekly, out of bounds. East ball. So Cam, a very uncharacteristic mistake there by Cheatham County. I mean, Of course, we know Cheatham has been a team with very little weakness, but there's ever a time to exploit that. If you're East Hickman, you have to think all it takes is one game and you're district champions.
Yeah, Josh, I mean, it's a total aggression play the East needs tonight. They need to just out-hustle and out-perfect.
And Lee pulls up from 2, gets it to go.
But with a player like that, Montana Lee, it's going to be hard to do. So it's going to take a lot of doing things away from the ball right for East, and they did it so far. But, you know, those mistakes from Cheatham early in this game are not a normal thing.
And Fisher pulls up from deep, the shot well short. And the officials say that it was tipped. And now it's Cheatham down the floor. Orange off the glass, gets it to go.
And that's something that East is really going to have to, limit, is going to be transition game for Cheatham County. Cheatham, when they can get out and run and beat you down the floor, they're a hard team to beat, and that's how they catch momentum.
And Addie Fisher there trying to drive into the paint. Nothing there, and Cheatham back on the offensive. Orange pump fakes, now pulls up from 3. Shot is no good, picked up by Weekly. Shot no good, denied by Caps, and Cox trying to wiggle her way out, and she does. Now down the floor. Cox into the paint, wants to go all the way, and she's fouled and will head to the stripe.
And Josh, you love seeing the aggressiveness from Ruby Cox. She is the biggest player out on the floor. Height-wise, her and Montana Lee are very similar, but size-wise, Ruby's a very strong girl. So going inside and attacking there is really good. Now, Montana Lee's guarding her, so it's star on star. And in this situation, Ruby being the stronger player, I think the right play is to go at her to see if you can get her to foul.
So Ruby goes 2 for 2 on her free throws. We're tied up at 4 here early. Just under 5.5 minutes to play in the first quarter. Mitchell, right wing, pulls up from 3. Shot no good. Saved by Orange, who finds Weekly, and Weekly can't get the rebound. But she rips it away from Cox. Orange gets it out. Mitchell from the right elbow gets the 2.
And Josh, that's something the East can't let happen a lot, is offensive rebounds. They have to keep Cheatham County off the glass because Cheatham County is always going to be scrappy, especially when it comes to the boards. So they know they're not the biggest team, so they are really good at doing the little things right to get rebounds.
And the pass tried to float it into Caps, nobody home, and Cheatham secures the takeaway. Lee drives, has it ripped away by Addie Fisher, and a quick jump ball is called, and it will be East Hickman ball. So some aggressive defense played there by Fisher.
Josh, East has done a really good job of keeping this Cheatham County offense uncomfortable throughout the start of this game. I know it's only 3.5 minutes in.
And now it's Weekly down the floor, lays it up and in, following the takeaway. So East Hickman has certainly been trying to force feed Cox so far early on in this ball game, and it's cost them a couple times, but it's also resulted in a few baskets. So of course, live by the sword, die by the sword, they say.
Yeah, Josh, absolutely. And I think the turnover game is going to be maybe what makes or breaks East. The limitation of turnovers, especially silly turnovers like that one, if you can limit those, you're going to be more successful.
A nice spin move by Addie Fisher, who takes it all the way in for 2.
Yeah, I mean, a really skilled move there by Fisher. We don't usually see those two young ladies, those two twins, drive a lot, but she looked great there.
And Mitchell tries to drive, nothing there. Adams almost secured the rebound, but Cheatham takes it away, and Montana Lee knocks down the 3. So Cam, almost a really good defensive possession there by the Lady Eagles, but of course the inability to secure those defensive boarding and giving Cheatham second chance opportunities, as you said earlier, might come back to haunt East later in this game. As Aubrey Fisher drives, steps through, has it knocked out of bounds.
And the thing that's really tough for East is they're going to have to play a very, very, very clean ball game. You notice I put 3 varies on that, and it's because Cheatham County always plays such a very disciplined and clean ball game.
And Aubrey Fisher pulls up high off the glass. Caps gets the rebound, though. Layup falls in. And Brooklyn
Josh.
Adams has subbed out for the Eagles. Lauren Terlecki back in the game. Terlecki, a player who we saw a lot of in the regular season, but hasn't seen the floors too terribly much in the district. But hopefully this might be a change of pace here as Coach Taylor wants to utilize her a bit more. And Cheatham County just not in sync right there. Hunter was looking for Lee, who was back cutting, and it sails out of bounds into the stands. East Hickman takes over.
Josh, Cheatham comes out in, it looks like a 1-2-2 press.
And Cox tried a desperation pass, but it's taken away. Now Mitchell drives into the paint, has it denied by Caps. It will go out of bounds off of the Lady Eagles. Cheatham will stay in possession. It'll be Lee throwing it in from the baseline, but a nice defensive hold there by East. Lee finds Weekly in the paint, knocks down the two, and Cam, that was a play we saw them run the last time they were throwing it in from the baseline.
Yeah, and that was a really good job of keeping the ball in the shooting pocket.
And Weekly tried to take it away from Aubrey Fisher, and a jump ball is called. Of course, it goes back now to Cheatham, and El Mayo checks in for Cheatham County. Georgia Hunter will be the one subbing out.
Josh, at first I thought it was called a foul, but good call there. The jump ball was the correct call.
Lee into Weekly, guarded by Cox, dribbles left, bounce pass. Mayo goes off the glass and gets the two.
And Josh, offensively, Cheatham County is so tough because they were always in the right position offensively, especially cutting on the baseline.
And Terlecki had Aubrey Fisher open for a moment, but saw her too late, and Lee gets the takeaway, kicks it out. Mitchell from three, flash down. And a timeout is called by Coach Taylor as the Lady Eagles have to regroup, trailing by 10, 18-8.
Yeah, and that was just the correct timeout call there by Coach Taylor. His girls, a couple of times down the floor, haven't looked the cleanest on offense and have gotten shown up when they've played defense, which Cheatham County is just a really, really solid basketball team. So I think this timeout is more of a gathering what the plan is team. Now, Cheatham County has come out in that press. I haven't been able to exactly pick up on the press that they're running because East has done a good job of getting the ball in quick, but they haven't done a great job of moving the ball up the floor as quickly. So, Cheatham County is not pressing this time. So
it'll be East down the floor, a minute and a half to play in the first quarter. Adams over to Fisher, Fisher to Caps, Caps floats it into Cox, dribbles into the paint, spins, goes up off the glass, no good, but she's fouled and will go to the line again.
Montana Leaders second, team second.
yeah, that's tough for Lee to get. That's really tough for Lee to get her second right there this early in the ball game. So she'll be sitting a lot this second quarter. It looked to me like the ref said that she was moving into her with her body as she was letting that shot go. So if that's his reasoning for the call and that's what he saw, it is correct reasoning, but you just don't love that call because it's tough. Ruby Cox is a very hard player to play defense on because of her physicality.
Ruby Cox has been very efficient from the free throw line thus far. She's 4 for 4. Mitchell tries to find Orange, can't connect. East gets the takeaway. Swings it. Addie Fisher dribbles into the paint. The shot is up and it's in.
And Josh, East is going to need a lot of that while Montana leads out. You have to take advantage of the matchups out there on the floor. Montana, they run a lot. So if East can take advantage of the team that's out on the floor right now for Cheatham County, they can definitely take over the lead in this ball game. But the thing is, Cheatham County's so well coached. It's another turnover.
That's Aubrey Fisher down the floor. Gives Addie Fisher, now drives. Goes off the glass, no good. But Cox gets the rebound. Under 30 to play. The shot is up, doesn't get the roll. And Adams with the putback, and it goes in.
You know, a really great entry pass there from Ruby Cox with a missed layup at the end. But to continue to stay down there to battle for rebounds is why that they ended up with a bucket there.
And Mitchell tries again from three, won't go, but she's fouled and will shoot 3 free throws.
Josh, those are the type of shots that you just really like. If you're going to give up a shot, giving up a step back three is kind of a shot that you would want to give up at the end of a quarter. But right there, you cannot have a foul because that allows them to get those easy opportunities right there at the line.
Mitchell goes 2 for 2. Of course, one still remaining. Both teams have looked pretty solid thus far from the free throw line, which, of course, as this game goes on, might pay dividends. And Mitchell goes 3 for 3. So East with 3 seconds. Cox just lets it fly. It'll be well off the mark, short and to the left. And that brings us to the end of our first quarter. Your score, East 14, Cheatham 21. We'll be back.
Pizza Hut, you owe Chicago an apology.
Tavern style pizza is our thing.
Why couldn't you be happy with deep dish like all the tourists? That's good.
And you just had to make it so crispy and delicious.
It's perfection.
They put the toppings all the way to the edge.
It's cutting the shareable squares.
That's delicious.
What's your deal, Pizza Hut?
Your secret's out, Chicago. Try any of our large Chicago Tavern-style recipes for just $12 each.
Hey, Pizza Hut, you owe Chicago an apology.
Sorry, Chicago. No one out pizza's the Hut.
Apology accepted.
And welcome back to WNKX. Your first championship game of the night is brought to you by Papa Cajo's and Hope Church. Papa Cajo's Barbecue open Monday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. with daily specials that I'm sure you won't want to miss. And Hope Church, Sunday morning Bible class begins at 9 a.m., worship at 10 a.m., and a Wednesday night Bible class at 6 p.m. There you can find a recovery ministry, grief ministry, and also check out the Hope on the Square thrift store. A lot of goodies to be found there. And you can find both Hope Church and Papa Cajo's on Facebook. A very special thank you as well to Devin Pickard. So here we go. The second quarter is underway. East Hickman trailing by 7, but with a chance to get some points to start off our second quarter of play. Cox, right elbow, gives out Addie Fisher. Now drives it on Mitchell, and a foul will be called against number 5 of the Lady Cubs.
Yeah, Josh, if this is a sign of things to come from this officiating staff, we're probably not going to see a super physical game in the guys' game because it's definitely not right now.
And Cheatham on the drive. Orange lays it up and in. So Amy Orange with 6 points already, all by way of the 2-ball. Now, Cam, we're used to her being a proficient three-point shooter, but tonight she's gotten it done inside the arc.
Yeah, she's definitely been an aggressor, Josh. Again, like you said, not a typical thing we've seen from her, but she's been super effective tonight.
Addie Fisher dribbles in, gets it out to Aubrey Fisher. Bounce pass over to Cox. Cox now looks to drive, kicks it. Fisher dribbles left, step back, give to Cox in the corner, floats it into Caps. Caps drives, pulls up, off the glass and in.
And a really tough shot there from Caps. Getting in the lane, getting that bank shot to work for her. So that could be something we see more from her because East has definitely been running like a low-high as of recent on offense where Ruby Cox and Caps have been switching position to get them better looks inside. I definitely don't hate it. A little old school from Coach Taylor.
So Weekly floats in, nice pass to Mitchell, but it's denied by Caps. Now Caps down the right side to Fisher. Guarded by Orange. Nice pass back to Cox, who floats it in. Caps tries again that mid-range two. This time it won't go. And it's rebounded by Mitchell. East making her uncomfortable down there. She floats it down the floor to Harder. Now it's Weekly. Down inside the arc from the free throw line. Denied again by Caps. Her second block in the span of 60 seconds. Now Cox to Caps. And the left-handed layup goes. And Kim, what a game Kelsey Caps is having thus far in this first half.
Yeah, Josh, and, her being effective is making East have another element to their offense, right? And as at the start of this ball game, it was a lot of brick offense. Right now, sharing the love, and it's making Cheatham play defense on all 5.
So again, some great defense being played. Fisher off the glass, no good. Cox gets the rebound, takes a fall, but gets out to Addie Fisher. The 3 is no good, and Amy Orange runs it down in the corner and gets it over to Mitchell. And a pull up, a deep 3, well short. And wisely, Aubrey Fisher lets it hit the baseline, and East will take over. So Cam, if you're Cheatham County, if you're Coach Gibbs, I mean, you can't like that take right there.
Yeah, and this Cheatham County team just looks all out of sorts. It is something that we have not seen from them at all. But we see Montana Lee go back in, as well as number 33, Georgia Hunter.
So East down the floor. They've slowly been cutting into this deficit they face, now down 23-18. And Caps fires it into Cox, who goes off the glass and gets a 2. Ruby Cox with 8 points on the night. Mitchell at the volleyball line, guarded by Addie Fisher. Gives to Harder, back to Mitchell, over to Weekly. Now it's Lee left side, dribbles right, now back left. Floats it in, Weekly. Shot won't go, but the putback will.
And Josh, instantly Montana Lee being in the ball game, running a pick and roll with Weekly. That's the offense that we've seen them run all year, is just that pick and roll and have those shooters surrounding Montana. It's a great offense to have.
And Adams tries to save it, but it's taken away. And Lee tries to find, Lee was trying to find Georgia Hunter in the paint. A bullet of a bounce pass. It was taken away by East, but they will get the Lady Eagles on the walk as the feet got moving a little too quick.
And Josh, now we see the starters all be in for Cheatham County for the first time since about 6.
And the shot goes up and in.
Shot. Georgia Hunter.
That's Hunter's first bucket of the game. Addie Fisher dribbles right. Give it to Aubrey. Now back to Kelsey Caps. Cox now wants to drive, kicks it out, Addie Fisher. Lost a handle of it for a moment, but regains it. Now Fisher drives, lost it, picked up by Hunter. It'll be Cheatham back on the drive. Lee down the right side. Has it knocked away and picked up. Aubrey Fisher down the floor. She goes all the way off the glass. The shot is no good, and Lee gets the rebound. Now it's Mitchell driving inside, puts it up over Cox. I think it was deflected away. It's a loose ball. Orange comes in to try to get it. Ball is loose. Weekly puts up a shot. No good, but she's fouled, and we'll shoot a couple.
Josh, both teams are just a little out of control. I'm not going to say it's been a wild game, but both teams have at times kind of lost their way in the offense multiple times, and there was another wild moment. But Weekly just grabbing the ball, putting it up. Weird shot to take, but it worked out.
Weekly misses the second. Adams tries to save it, but I believe it is Georgia Hunter who knocks it out of bounds, and it will be East ball as they trail by 8. Under 2.5 minutes to play in this first half. Caps over to the left wing. Gives over to Aubrey Fisher. Now to Addie Fisher. Thought about pulling up. Now dribbles in. Bounce pass. Caps goes up off the glass and one. Count it. And Caps has been a force from inside.
Yeah, Josh. And to give them another dimension to their offense is really valuable right now because outside of Ruby, they've been kind of just one-dimensional, and her and Caps have just turned this East offense into something that has kept them in this ball game.
So Caps cannot complete the three-point play, but she still picked up the layup earlier. Lee gives up top to Hunter, quick swing. Orange now drives. Looking to kick it back out. She does, but not before she's called for the walk. So under 2 minutes to play. East, slowly but surely, staying in it.
And Josh, I could have told you that this was going to happen. It's an East team that has a chance to win a championship. They're obviously going to do all the scrappy things to keep themselves in this ball game, and right there with a turnover, though.
So it's Mitchell near the logo, and Coach Gibbs takes the timeout. As also set up his offense, and Cam, this game has started off very competitive. I mean, we know this East team. We saw how they played last week against the Hickman County Lady Dogs. Of course, they trailed by 20 at one point, but were able to come back, force overtime, and get the victory in overtime. But Cam, considering how we saw the Lady Dogs play against Cheatham and how the Lady Eagles played against Hickman, I mean, I think this game could have gone a couple of ways. I think either would have been close or a blowout in favor of Cheatham. But East Hickman proving all the doubters wrong here tonight thus far and keeping it within double digits.
Yeah, Josh, and you know, with a team like that, like they have, that they know what they can do at the top of their ability, right? The second half of that Hickman County East Hickman game is what they can do at the top of their ability. They came back from a massive deficit. So they know what they're capable of, and I think that helped them find their confidence. So I think you're looking at a more confident East team. And we just had our first switch of defense. East now in a 2-3 zone.
So Cheatham gives to Orange right wing, gets into Weekly. Weekly just throws it out to Mitchell. Almost had it taken away. Fisher trying to knock it loose from Mitchell, and Mitchell throws a shoulder, gives to Orange, and Orange knocks down the three. So that's Orange's first three of the game. We knew it was only a matter of time before she had one. It's Addie Fisher, tries to float it inside the Caps, but it sails just out of her reach and out of bounds. So 38 seconds. The clock now rolling. Cheatham 31, East 22, a 9-point game. But Cheatham looking to make it double digits going into the break.
And East immediately switching back to man-to-man. I'm sure Coach Taylor just called a one-time switch out of that timeout. I like the idea, but with a team that can stretch the floor like Cheatham, it just didn't work out.
Weekly finds Hunter. Hunter drives in. Nice block again by Caps, the loose ball. And they're fighting for it, and a jump ball will be called by the official. So with 7.9 seconds, Cheatham will be in possession. They have plenty of time to draw up a play to get some points. Leaf floats it out. It's Mitchell. Mitchell now drives, 5 seconds. Puts it up, no good, taken away East. Addie Fisher down the floor, gives, and one too many passes as they're unable to get a shot off. But your score at the end of the second quarter, your score, the Cheatham County Lady Cubs 31, the East Hickman Lady Eagles 22. And before we go to our halftime intermission, I want to give a very special thank you to our sponsor for tonight's game one more time. It will be Papa Cajo's Barbecue and Hope Church. Papa Cajo's Barbecue, they are open Monday through Saturday from 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. with daily specials that are to die for. And with Hope Church, they have Sunday Bible class beginning at 9 a.m., worship beginning at 10 a.m. right after that, Wednesday night Bible class at 6 p.m., and there you can find a recovery ministry, a grief ministry, and you can even check out their Hope on the Square thrift store with plenty of goodies to be found. You can find both of these organizations, Hope Church and Papa Cajo's, on Facebook. And of course, another very special thank you to Devin Pickard, who is a backbone in both of those corporations. Of course, he has been a staple in this community for a long time. We cannot thank him enough for sponsoring this first championship matchup. But folks, I've been Josh Copley alongside Cameron Peters. We're going to take a brief intermission for halftime, and we'll be back in about 9 minutes' time. Don't go anywhere.
Pizza Hut, you owe Chicago an apology.
Tavern style pizza is our thing.
Why couldn't you be happy with deep dish like all the tourists? That's good.
And you just had to make it so crispy and delicious.
It's perfection.
They put the toppings all the way to the edge.
It's cut into shareable squares.
That's delicious.
What's your deal, Pizza Hut?
Your secret's out, Chicago. Try any of our large Chicago tavern-style recipes for just $12 each.
Hey, Pizza Hut, you owe Chicago an apology.
Sorry, Chicago. No one out pizza's the Hut.
Apology accepted.
and be ready to go. Yeah, Josh.
And welcome back to WNKX. We are back after our brief intermission, and we're going to give you a rundown of what we saw in that last game. Of course, your score right now, as seen on your screen, Cheatham County 31, East Hickman 22 in this girls' district final. And Cam, we look over at the East Hickman girls. Addie Fisher with 4 points, Kelsey Capps with 8 points, Brooklyn Adams with 2, and Ruby Cox with 8. Now, Ruby and Kelsey have the same amount of points, but Cam, there's been a way that Kelsey's been playing tonight that has really made her a difference maker in this game so far.
Check. All right, I'm on. Yeah, Josh. Caps has really been a secondary contributor to this offense most of the season, but tonight she's really stepped up to play a role that is like all the ball pressure is being put on Ruby, and that allows Caps to play more freely offensively. And she's really taken advantage of that and capitalized on that because, the stat sheet speaks for itself. So, great job by that young lady.
So we are underway in the second half of play. It will be East Hickman with the ball. Addie Fisher feeds Caps, dribbles in on Weekly, now steps back in the corner, floats it to Cox, lost the handle of it, and Montana Lee picks it up. Lee down the floor to Mitchell. Mitchell checks up, looking for help. It's being knocked loose, and Mitchell called for the offensive foul as she throws the elbow at Addie Fisher.
Number 5, Mitchell, foul, her second.
And that is Mitchell's second foul of the game, the team's first of the half. And looking at Cheatham's side of things as we start the second half, in the first, Sydney Mitchell had 8 points, Montana Lee had 5, Gracie Bell Weekly had 5, Emmy Orange had 9, El Mayo had 2, and Georgia Hunter had 2. Cox gives Caps for 2, won't go. Rebounded by Aubrey Fisher and gets it out to Addie Fisher.
And Josh, this has been just a game where East has done just enough at every single part in the ball game, just enough to answer to always be in it. I've just been impressed with how steady they've been. We've seen a lot of slow first halves from them. That first half wasn't slow. It was a solid first half.
And Aubrey Fisher pulls up from 3, won't go. And Sydney Mitchell picks up the ball. And Mitchell down the floor pulls up and gets the 2 to fall.
But along with, East being so far this year not the best first half team, they've been an amazing second half team. So I'm interested to see how things are going to play out in this second half because when we've seen them have success, it's been during this time.
And some nice defense being played inside by Emmy Orange to deny the pass to Cox underneath. The ball will stay with the Eagles. Addie Fisher to throw it in. Gets it out. Adams quickly to Cox. Steps through, pulls up, won't go. Short off the front of the rim. Cheatham now on offense. Lee gives the Weekly long, 2, won't go. Lee flies in, tips it to Hunter, who puts it up and in for 2.
And Josh, I think that's just the difference in having Montana Lee on the floor for Cheatham County. You know, she sat out a lot in that first half because of foul trouble, and ever since she's came in, they've started to grow a lead.
A nice pass to Cabs, doesn't get a favorable roll, and it goes out of bounds off Brooklyn Adams. Cheatham ball.
Josh, East cannot allow the little things to be messed up in this game. If they want to continue to stay in this ball game, if they want to be within reaching distance, they have got to rebound. They have got to play solid defense. They've got to limit the open looks, and they have to knock down their open looks.
It's taken away by East, and Georgia Hunter able to force the jump ball. As it was Kelsey Capps, the Lady Eagle, there to secure it for the first time. But Cheatham has the possession to go their way. Orange, nice pass. The shot was no good there, attempted by Hunter, and yet another jump ball.
Josh, I was thinking about this last night on my way home. The amount of jump balls that we have seen this year. Maybe it happened this much when I was in high school, but I just cannot remember there being this many jump balls. We have seen maybe double. I bet we average close to double digits a game.
It's possible, and Aubrey Fisher drives in, shot no good. Cox gets it off the glass. Tried to put it back up, but she is fouled and will go to the line again.
That might have been a bit of a bailout right there. I don't know that it was necessarily Weekly that fouled. Oh, it wasn't called on Weekly. So, yes, it was called on the correct player. So, yeah. Emmy Orange did foul. I thought he signaled 14. But correct call there. It was the off-ball defender.
And Cam Ruby Cox has just been so efficient from the free throw line. She's had 3 trips, and she's made 6 free throws.
Yeah, Josh. I mean, I think she's at the point this season where she has truly just hit her stride. She looks confident, extremely confident every time she touches the basketball.
And the whistle blows, and a foul will be called against Addie Fisher.
Josh, something I noticed a lot tonight is Cheatham County usually runs their motion really well. Tonight, they're going to the ball a lot.
Lee drops baseline bounce pass taken away by Aubrey Fisher.
But as I was saying, I think that's a part of all these jump balls that they've had tonight is they're not keeping they're going to the ball, and that's drawing another defender on ball. So I think that's why we've seen so many of those. But East has done a great job.
They try to find Cox underneath, but another foul will be called on Cheatham County. And they'll get number 14, and Gracie Bell Weekly, her second of the game. Floats it out. Cox tries from 3. Bang! And that is crucial there, Cam. East was needing a big-time shot when it looked like Cheatham was starting to widen that gap, and Ruby Cox delivers.
Yeah, that's a big shot there, but they need a couple more.
The three-pointer, Lee tries to answer it, but it's no good, and Cox wisely boxes out and lets the ball go out of bounds.
Yeah, but you like that answer attempt there from Montana Lee. Is Cheatham County looks to be in a 2-2-1 press right now with Weekly at the back.
A nice bounce pass off the glass and in for Brooklyn Adams. So Cox to Fisher to Adams. Now Mitchell tries to pull up from 3. This one no good. Lee gets the rebound. It gets out to Orange. She tries from 3. No good. And East gets the board. Adams looking for help. And a foul is called on Gracie Bell Weekly.
I don't know about that call right there, Josh. It was a good job by the young lady to definitely make it look like she got pushed. I don't know that it was. I didn't see any contact. But nonetheless, it is called an East ball, so great job there by East.
Of course, those officials see it a lot better down there than we do up here, I suppose. Cox looking for help. Gets it to Addie Fisher. Dribbles right, flicks it back to Cox. It's kicked away by Mitchell, and Cheatham picks it up. Mitchell tries a long two, pulls up and splashes it.
I'll tell you what, Josh. Mitchell is not afraid to let a transition jump shot fly. You don't see that a lot.
Aubrey Fisher can't get the three to fall. Tries to hustle for the rebound, but it's Georgia Hunter that picks it up and feeds to Mitchell. Mitchell now drives into the paint. Orange from three. Shot is no good. Weekly with the rebound. Her putback no good. Cox gets the rebound, looking for help. It's taken away by Cheatham as it goes up through the net and back down again. Unfortunately, that does not count as a point in organized basketball, but a foul will be called against Kelsey Capps, and Cheatham will shoot a couple. So that was some madness down there, Cam, on the left end.
That is a good word to describe it, Josh. A good word to describe it.
The first free throw, no good by Hunter. El Mayo checking back into the game for Gracie Bell Weekly. Hunter tries again. This one falls. Goes 1 for 2 at the stripe. Under 2.5 minutes to play in this third quarter. At the free throw line, Fisher gives to Capps. Quick swing, Addie Fisher drives it on Mitchell, spin move. Hands it back out to Capps. Tough bounce pass to Cox, spins through. The shot is no good, but a foul will be called on Mayo.
Yeah, and a really good job there by Ruby, still trying to put it up through the contact. That was the right thing to do. She knew she would get a foul called right there, so going to the line, she's been shooting it well from there.
And another made free throw by Ruby Cox. Make that 8 in a row for Cox. And Ruby already with 7 points in this third quarter, and a timeout is called.
And I like this coach. I like this timeout from Coach Taylor. It's one that, you've had a couple of things go your way. You've also had a couple silly mistakes. Let's talk about the good things. Let's replicate the good things. Let's talk about how we can continue those. And above that, I think, really, let's just get our girls a breather. They've been playing probably 5 straight minutes of basketball without much stop in the action. So I think just a good overall timeout to let us girls, catch a break, let the game settle back down. But the dangerous thing is with that, can allow Cheatham County to get back in sync. But either way, I think we're going to see some type of maybe not a complete switch or complete change, but a tweak in East plan somewhere.
And as we're about to emerge from our timeout, another special thank you to our sponsors for the night, Papa Cajo's Barbecue and Hope Church. Papa Cajo's Barbecue, they are open Monday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. with daily specials, and Hope Church with Sunday Bible class beginning at 9 a.m., worship at 10 a.m. following, and then Wednesday Bible class at 6 p.m. There you can find a recovery ministry, grief ministry, and also check them out on the Hope on the Square thrift store. Find both Hope Church and Papa Cajo's on Facebook. So after the timeout, Cheatham with the rock. It's Mayo. Gives over to Mitchell. Mitchell dribbles left. Mayo sets a screen, but not a legal one. And the referee blows the whistle, and it will be East ball as they trail by 7, 1.5 minutes to go in our third quarter.
And that's something Cheatham County's been doing all game long, Josh, is they're setting these screens that are very, very close to illegal, and that one was absolutely illegal. But they're just going to have to be careful with that because those silly turnovers are going to keep East in this game.
And East drives in. The shot's denied, but Capps picks up the loose ball, gives out to Aubrey Fisher. Now to Cox. Spins through. Gets the ball out. And a walk is called against Addie Fisher.
And Josh, we again see the Montana Lee Ruby Cox matchup. Montana playing defense on Ruby. That is what got her in the foul trouble. But because we're so late in this third quarter, 1:13 to go, I'm not surprised that matchup has reignited.
So Lee at the right wing gives up top to Mayo. Mayo quickly over to Mitchell. Now up top. It's Lauren Anderson in the game. Mayo tried a three, no good. Rebounded by Aubrey Fisher. Under a minute to play in this third quarter. Fisher crosses the logo and gives over to Addie. And Orange denies the pass and secures the takeaway for Cheatham. Now it's Lee down the floor, guarded by Caps. 30 seconds. Lee drives. Was looking for a bounce pass, but a kickball violation will be called against the Lady Eagles.
And Josh, that was either going to be one of the nastiest passes that we've seen in a while, or it was going to be a kickball violation. Almost amazing assist there.
And Lee bounce pass in, Anderson off the glass. It doesn't fall in, and Cox gets the board, 23 seconds. Cox wants to drive in on Lee, puts it up off the glass, won't go, but she's fouled. So Cam, I want to give this Eagle defense a lot of credit. You mentioned earlier about Montana Lee almost having a great assist. You know, they have defended that interior pass really well. They've clearly watched their tape and studied up because that is what Lee has done very well. Maybe she doesn't lead every game in scoring for Cheatham County, but my goodness, she can pass like no other, and East has been well prepared for that.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's been one of those things where they know that she commands a lot of attention, but I think that Coach Taylor has prepped them well for what kind of attention to give her. Don't overplay her on the shot taking, but play her like really attentively off ball. And I don't know if it's Coach Taylor or just they've just done it, but it's been a really good job by East to do that.
Now 5 seconds, Mitchell driving and looking for some end of quarter points, denied by East. And Aubrey Fisher picked up the loose ball, and that brings us to the end of our third quarter. 1 quarter to play to decide your district champion. Your score, Cheatham County 38, East Hickman 33. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Pizza Hut, you owe Chicago an apology.
Tavern style pizza is our thing.
Why couldn't you be happy with deep dish like all the tourists? That's good.
And you just had to make it so crispy and delicious.
It's perfection.
They put the toppings all the way to the edge.
It's cut in the shareable squares.
That's delicious.
What's your deal, Pizza Hut?
Your secret's out, Chicago. Try any of our large Chicago tavern-style recipes for just $12 each.
Hey, Pizza Hut, you owe Chicago an apology.
Sorry, Chicago. No one out pizza's the Hut.
Apology accepted.
And welcome back. We are just about to begin our fourth quarter in what has been a very competitive ball game between the Cheatham County Lady Cubs and the East Hickman Lady Eagles. Of course, Cheatham coming into this game off of a blowout victory against Harpeth, 60-27, and the Lady Eagles coming in off of a nail-biting overtime victory over the Hickman County Lady Dogs, 60-57. So both these teams very talented, but only one can be champion of the district. Cheatham starting things off first. Weekly tried to float it inside to Lee. Goes over her head, but a foul will be called against Brooklyn Adams.
Check. Okay, we're good. Well, I apologize, everybody. It's a new headset, so learning the ropes with the new headset. I know it's late in the season, but we're getting there.
So Cheatham County able to widen this lead 40-33. Cox gives it out. It's Addie Fisher. Step back. Some tough defense being played by Sydney Mitchell. Now to Cox, tries a deep three. Shot is no good, rebounded by Weekly.
And I like that looks from Cox right there. East has been very trying to get the ball inside. you love the idea, but at some point you kind of want to stretch the defense out.
And the whistle blows and a timeout called on the floor by Cheatham County.
Timeout, Cheatham County.
So clearly something Coach Gibbs didn't like. He wants to set up his offense and run a play here.
And he had 4 to work with, so plenty of wiggle room. You want to establish early in the fourth a good plan, a good rotation, and get it going. So, not the worst timeout if you've got a little wiggle room to spend on your timeouts.
So a very brief timeout. Now, Cam, of course, East only trails by 7, but it just feels so much greater than that because they've been down by 5 to 7 points the entire ball game. They just can't quite get over that hurdle. So maybe a sense of urgency needs to be about East Hickman as Lee misses a shot, and maybe this is the momentum they needed, but Lee gets the ball back, tries to find a Weekly, and Cox with a takeaway, so these teams going back and forth. As Aubrey Fisher in the corner gives to Cox. Cox at the free throw line. Now dribbles in looking for help. Gives, caps off the glass. Easy 2 for East Hickman. So Cam, we haven't seen caps in the score column this entire second half, but finally picks up a bucket here.
Yeah, and it was from the recognition of the double team from Ruby Cox. Realized that Montana came off of her player, knew that it was caps, and great job finding her.
And East gets a takeaway. Addie Fisher down the floor off the glass, no good. And Cheatham able to secure it. So it's Mitchell at the logo. Gives to Orange. Guarded by Aubrey Fisher. Now Lee, quick pass underneath. The shot no good. Georgia Hunter couldn't find it. And now it's Cox down the right side. And it kicks off the foot of Ruby Cox, I believe, as that went flying towards the East cheerleaders. And it will be Cheatham ball, so some misfortune there. And some nice defense by Cheatham.
Yeah, that's frustrating for Ruby. She saw a really good lane to step through right there. Could have converted pretty easily, but just lost control.
And Lee steps through and gets the layup. And Cam, that's Montana Lee's first bucket here of the fourth quarter.
And Josh, I'm going to expect more of that coming from Montana in this game, unless Ruby starts to switch on her. Now, if it's Ruby on her, you might not see as much, more facilitating.
They try to force the Cox, but it's taken away. Weekly stops her momentum and lays it off the glass for an easy 2. So Cam, a very smart heads-up play there by Weekly to halt her momentum and get the easy layup with no other defenders in pursuit. And a timeout is called by the Lady Eagles. And during this timeout break, I want to give another very special thank you to our sponsors for the game tonight, Hope Church and Papa Cajo's Barbecue. Papa Cajo's is open Monday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. And be sure to check out the daily specials. It's the best barbecue you'll find. With Hope Church, Sunday Bible class beginning at 9 a.m. with worship soon to follow at 10 a.m. after that. Wednesday Bible class at 6 p.m. And there you can find Recovery Ministries, Grief Ministries, and also we encourage you to check out their Hope on the Square thrift store with plenty of goodies to be found. And you can find both Hope Church and Papa Cajo's on Facebook. So WNKX, our hearts go out to Devin Pickard. So thank you to our sponsors because this game would not be possible without them. So Cam, 5:07 remains. East trailing by almost double digits. Now they seem to have lost a little bit of that momentum. What do they need to do here in the waning moments of this ballgame to really steal it back?
I would slow down a little on offense and just find back the pace that you had. It was a very consistent pace that made Cheatham consistently move, but it was slower, right? I feel like East kind of thrives in chaos sometimes, and they play a little fast. This game, I'm sure Coach Taylor made this plan. It has been a little slower, and it has made Cheatham play defense with all 5 defenders the whole time they have the basketball. They just need to take care of the ball more.
So we saw off. It's Cox in the paint, spins through, lays it up, no good. It's knocked out of bounds by Montana Lee. So Lee certainly making her presence felt in this game more on the defensive end as opposed to the offensive end. But it's sort of been paying off for the Lady Cubs. Addie Fisher inbounds to Aubrey. Now Cox, a deep 3, knocks it down. And Cam, what a game Ruby Cox has had to this point.
Yeah, right now it looks like she's saying, hop on my back, and we'll see how far we can go.
And that was Cox's 20th point on the game. And Mitchell in the paint gives out Orange. Now drives inside, has it ripped away, and Lee picks up the loose ball, kicks it back out to Mitchell. Now Orange from the right wing. Can't knock down the three. Rebounded by Weekly, who dribbles it out beyond the arc. And now they'll run out some more clock.
I love that by Weekly. It's a big-time bucket there from Mitchell driving in. I was going to say a great job by Weekly to bring that ball out and get it back set up, but Mitchell went right back in.
So the ball out of bounds will stay with East Hickman. Under 4 minutes to play. Cox goes across the way to Adams in the paint, off the glass, gets it to go. So Brooklyn Adams, of course, known for her role as a supporting player on this team. Doesn't light up the score column all too often, but a big bucket right there. Now Lee drives in and gives. Hunter, mid-range two, falls.
And Josh shot that a little off balance, a little lopsided, but hey, it went in.
And a shot put up wildly by Addie Fisher, but recovered by Caps. Now to Adams. Now a tough shot contested there by Aubrey Fisher, and Cheatham comes up with the board. So East trailing by 8 points here, 48-40. 3 minutes on the dot to play. Lee at the logo, directing traffic, guarded by Adams. Now Lee dribbles left, goes into the paint, wants to go all the way, deflected by Caps. Now it's Aubrey Fisher the other way. Fisher steps through, and it falls in, count it. If they give her the end one, they do.
And Josh, if you're a Cheatham County fan, you absolutely want to lose it on that one, because that young lady, I'm not entirely sure who it was, but she had those hands straight up, but nonetheless able to convert after contact there. But you would have loved to see her knock that free throw down and get them one closer. And Josh, as you said, that 5-point threshold, they're sitting at a 6-point deficit right now. They haven't been able to really pass that.
So Mitchell gives out to Orange near the logo. Now back to Mitchell. And the ball's knocked loose. Mitchell recovers and hands off to Orange. And he's swarming Orange, but she gets off to Mitchell. Orange is across the way, but it's deflected and picked up by Aubrey Fisher. Fisher down the floor, now pulls up at the left wing. Gives to Cox in the corner. Cox floats it into Caps. Caps off the glass, won't fall. Tough rebound there by Adams, and she's fouled by Mitchell. So Cam, that is Sydney Mitchell's 4th foul as she is getting near the mark where she will be pulled out of the ball game. Cam, losing Mitchell would be a big piece there for Cheatham County. She is one of their more reliable ball handlers, and she has been on fire from those mid-range twos thus far as she subs out in this ball game. Lauren Anderson in the game for the Lady Cubs. And Cox tries from three, won't go. Rebounded by the new entrant, Lauren Anderson, for Cheatham as the clock ticks under 2 minutes. Now Orange goes over to Anderson. And unsure if it's a foul. I believe a timeout was called before.
Yeah, a much-needed timeout for Cheatham County. They have looked just absolutely discombobulated. Every time down the floor, as of recent, they just, have no plan to run out this clock, and it looks like they're almost just hoping that they stay in possession of it. So, this coach has got to sit them down, make a plan, get the ball in the best player's hands. As of now, it is just kind of madness right now, and they're all in a panic to get the ball back to Montana Lee, which I don't know that the ball should leave her hands necessarily. And if so, you should have things in place to counteract that. Now, if you're East, you have to – the offense has to be aggressive, forward good shots. And the only way you're going to get in this ball game, break that 5-point deficit threshold that they've had, is to put the ball in the basket right now. And they keep getting like they're crawling back, and then they make a turnover, and then Cheatham answers. So take care of the basketball, get a shot off, get a good. It doesn't even have to be a great shot. It just needs to be a good shot off, and I think they can definitely get in this ball game.
So Cheatham now move the ball, looking to drain this clock. 90 seconds to play. Some quick passes by the Cubs. And Lee directing Orange to go to the corner to a wide open Georgia Hunter. Now a pass to Weekly, gets knocked loose by Beecham. And a foul will be called on number 22, McKaylee Beecham, who just entered the game not all that long ago for the first time. Cheatham to inbound. Lee on the baseline. Kicks it out to Mitchell. Mitchell being swarmed there, and a foul is called against Addie Fisher. So East only with one foul to play with until they're in free throw territory.
Josh, this game just feels like both teams are waiting for it to just the clock to run down, because East not necessarily trying to get any steals, and Cheatham County not trying to necessarily get a bucket. And so it's just in this stalemate of when are you going to foul us, or when are, and there East is asking, when are you going to try to, make a play? So now you're down to 1:13 seconds. You got to turn it up if you're East. And if you are East, you're saying, I'm not fouling Montana Lee, but everyone else on that floor, I am fouling them. If she has the ball in her hand, I'm probably not going to foul. She's their best shooter. But outside of her, we have got to foul, send them to the free throw line, get us some extra possessions.
I'm sure Coach Taylor, he probably would agree with you, Cam. And we are underway here after the timeout. Mitchell will inbound from the far sideline and gets it into Montana Lee. Lee dribbles in. Bounce pass, Weekly off the glass, will fall in. So now East trailing by 8. The clock ticks under a minute.
That's what happens when a really, really, really good player gets the ball in their hand.
Fisher has her shot denied in the paint. And Lee trying to take care of the ball, gives off to Weekly. Goes over to Mitchell. And there was an official stoppage there.
What?
I believe her knee was busted open there, Cam.
Her knee got busted open, but she has 20 seconds to get back out on the floor and get it wrapped up. So definitely in a rush if you're Cheatham County. And I guess it's good to go.
Hey, so shout out to that Cheatham County coaching staff, Cam. They were lightning fast. They're like a NASCAR pit crew. And Weekly is fouled by Ruby Cox. So 39 seconds, Weekly not to the line just yet. But on the next foul, they will be shooting free throws, so East will probably do it as soon as possible. Back to Mitchell. And they foul her. So 34 seconds, down 8. Mitchell to the line. And Cam, things are looking bleak for the Lady Eagles.
Yeah, Josh, and it's one of those, like, they don't, like, it seems like they had a decent plan, but what are these refs doing?
And the first free throw is no good by
Josh,
Mitchell.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe a rule has changed. Maybe I'm just dumb. But I'm like 99% sure the defense has to have at least 3 people inside of the 3-point line. And they did not when that young lady shot that ball. But anyway. What is going on?
And another stoppage here. And I think it's because of Miss Weekly
there's blood
again.
On the floor. Yep, there's blood on the floor.
So, of course, the staff here, the officials, doing the right thing, prioritizing health and making sure we're all sanitary here, Cam.
We love being sanitary here at Hickman County High School.
You know, Cam, while we have a break in the action, how about the turnout here? Of course, the camera doesn't capture everyone, or maybe it does depending on the angle. But Cam, East Hickman, they have packed the stands down here to our right. Cheatham County down here to our left. They've packed the stands here for this district tournament final. And, of course, we look across the way. Harpeth is packed in here. Hickman County, both of those teams starting to pack in. Of course, the next game we'll have the Hickman County Bulldogs versus the Harpeth Indians in the boys district championship final, and what will be a phenomenal game. But you have to love the outpouring support, Cam, that these parents and these relatives and these friends give to these young ladies and the young men on the court.
Yeah, Josh, people are absolutely showing up and showing out for the community and for these guys' teams and these girls' teams right now, Josh. You just love to see it.
And Mitchell goes 0 for 2 there at the line, but Cheatham does get the rebound.
And East is just not fouling right now. Somebody has to foul.
And a foul is called. They get Addie Fisher, as it looked like Ruby Cox was about to force the jump ball there, Cam. So 23 seconds, and Montana leads at the line. Addie Fisher subbing out, Lauren Terlecki subbing in.
And Josh, I'm just so confused on what East's plan is here. I would have assumed that as soon as they get the ball in that they're fouling, but they just didn't. They let 20 seconds tick off the clock.
The second free throw, no good. Cox gets the rebound. At 20 seconds, you got to start thinking about the 3 ball. And Cox has it knocked away by Montana Lee. Lee down the floor. The shot is denied by Caps as she rips it away, but it will stay right with Cheatham. And being down 9 with 11 seconds, you got to think that's probably going to do it.
Yeah, Josh, but you could have had 20 seconds on the board if you had fouled as soon as Montana Lee got the ball. Just a very odd end to this game for East Hickman to me. I feel like they had a shot.
And time will expire. And the Cheatham County Lady Cubs, after a dominant season, entering in at 24-4, 7-0 in the district, make that winning streak 9 games. But this win, the biggest one thus far on the season, as Cheatham County will be crowned the district champions. But of course, Cam, a valiant effort given by the East Hickman Lady Eagles. Your final score 51-42, a phenomenal game by Ruby Cox. And while you weren't able to pick up the district tournament win here tonight, I mean, Cam, there's really no time to dwell. We're going right into the regions at the end of the week for both of these teams. While Cheatham, yes, be excited that you're the district champion, but there's more work to do.
Yeah, absolutely, Josh. You just got to look to the next game. Honestly, let this game sit for tonight. If you're Cheatham County, celebrate for tonight. But at the end of this week, you just got to take care of business.
Absolutely, Cam. So once again, your final score, 51-42. Cheatham County is victorious over East Hickman, and the Lady Cubs are your district champions on the girls' side. And folks, before we close out the stream, I want to give one final thank you to our sponsor for this game. Of course, Papa Cajo's Barbecue and Hope Church. Papa Cajo's Barbecue open Monday through Saturday, open 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. with daily specials that are to die for. Some of the best barbecue around. I promise you'll want to check it out. Also, thank you to Hope Church with Sunday Bible class beginning at 9 a.m., worship at 10 a.m., Wednesday Bible class at 6 p.m., and there you can find recovery ministries, grief ministries, and be sure to check out the Hope on the Square thrift store. And you can find both Hope Church and Papa Cajo's on Facebook for more details. So a very special thank you to Devin Pickard and our sponsors for making this game possible, this broadcast. But folks, we have one more for you. But we'll end the stream right here, and we'll pick things back up here in just a few moments after our intermission. So stay tuned to our YouTube channel here on WNKX. We'll be back.